629.
I see it. Perfect. Good evening, everyone. A few notes for you, particularly if this is your first meeting with us. You'll notice that you are muted and unable to mute yourself. After presentations, the co-chairs may call on members of the public who wish to speak. You can ask to be recognized by raising your virtual hand, and you can do that by going to the reactions button at the bottom of your screen and selecting raise hand. It's important not to raise your physical hands or wave at the screen because we may not be able to see you among the participants. If you are on the phone, you can raise your hand by pressing *9 and *6 to unmute. Once you're recognized by a co-chair, I will unmute you, and you may be prompted to confirm unmuting on your device. If you're using an older version of Zoom, you can access the raise hand feature by clicking the participants button on the menu at the bottom of your screen and selecting raise hand. The chat function is available for technical support only, not to ask questions of the co-chairs. You can send me a chat if you're having any issues, and I can help walk you through them. Back to you, Jane.
Thank you so much, Saida, our technical support person and an invaluable member of the Community Board 8 staff. This is the May meeting of the Landmarks Committee of Community Board 8. We are here for 2 applications. Our mission is the context of the and appropriateness of the applications within the historic district. We are going to reverse the agenda unless, I don't know, David is here.
David is here. He's here.
Oh, okay. So I think David's taking number 1, aren't you, David? 895 Park?
Yes, I'll take number 1.
Okay.
Are we set for me
We
to
are set.
get started? Okay. 895 Park Avenue,
Yes.
aka 893, 899 Park Avenue, and 100, 114 East 79th Street. Happy Architects and Engineers. Are they here this evening?
Yes, Dan is here, and Dan, you can share your screen whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Share screen. I'm ready to share screen. Is that on my end?
Yes. So you should see the green share screen button at the bottom.
I do. Thank you.
Sure.
Can you see?
Not yet. You probably have to select it and then confirm your selection. There you go. We can see it now.
Terrific. Okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Daniel Haffey, and I'm presenting today on the Landmarks master plan that will govern for the replacement of terracotta units in a field cladding with substitute material, which will be cast stone. And today I'll be showing you a drawing showing where that cast stone substitution is proposed, and some historical photographs of the building. And then show you some photos of the distress, the current distress for the terracotta units, and photographs of those decorative stones that we've replaced in the past in isolated areas, and which was a success with the match in a robust material. So everyone can see the first drawing with the 3D image?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, thank you. So here is the building 895 Park is on the southeast corner of Park Avenue, 79th Street. This is a 3D rendering representation of the building. The green hatch shows stones that are limestone material. And those will be replaced in kind with limestone. Now, the stones above that are in a brown hatch, brown color, those are stones that we're discussing today. Here is on the left, you can see that's the landmarks district. 895 Park Avenue is right on the border of 79th and Park Avenue right there, with the arrow pointing to it. These are historical photographs of the building circa when it was first built. This is the 1940 tax photo. These are other historical photos. I believe it's around 1935 is when that photograph was taken. This is the Park Avenue elevation. It's a little bit, you can see it better with the green hatch. Again, is going to be all limestone replaced in the same material. And above is going to be the substitute material, a cast stone that will mimic the terracotta, the original terracotta. That's the 79th Street elevation. Same concept. Green is the limestone, the brown is the terracotta units. Here's photographs of the terracotta units that are in question. You can see that they are decorative with those medallions, and that the distress is typical of a terracotta where it's more brittle and cracks right through. You can see up here it's got a horizontal crack. These are these fluted stones. These decorative fluted stones also have some distress. The lower left photo will be considered a field pattern where there's multiple terracotta units that are cracking and breaking and falling apart. And this is what the master plan will govern. When you're replacing a field pattern such as this, you'll place it in with a substitute material, which would be cast stone. Over here where my cursor is, I hope you can see it in the middle, the lower middle photograph is we called it a special stone. It's more decorative with flowers and fluted curls. You can see that there's a crack coming down there, and those are a part of another field pattern. If you zoomed out on the photograph, you would see that there's other ashlars adjacent that are cracking as well, and that is that's just the field pattern in question that we want to substitute with a cast stone. The lower right is limestone. That's on the lower floor. I don't know if you could see the cracks on it on basically the ground floor. And again, those will be replaced in kind with limestone. On the next page, these are repairs that we've done in the past that were successful. And you can see on the top, those medallion stones. That is the cast stone that was replaced that had some distress. These stones had distress previously. The photograph in the middle on the left side is the cornice, that terracotta cornice that we replaced again in the cast stone, this middle stone here and this lower stone. These are the stones on the lower left photograph. These stones on the bottom were replaced with a cast stone, as well as on the lower right corner photograph where my cursor is. This stone here was replaced with a cast stone. The rest are terracotta. Original terracotta, that's the cast stone. And these two photographs on the right, top and middle, these are limestone. This is a limestone repair that we replaced with limestone in 2018. That was replaced in kind, not a substitute material. The reason for the cast stone is that it's more robust in nature than the terracotta. It has you're able to attach the stone, the cladding, with a corrosive resistant anchor, and so it would protect against the weather infiltration, and it's easier to flash for more longevity.
Mr. Haffey, are you still presenting?
No, that's the end of the presentation.
That's the end of the presentation. Okay.
Yes.
Does anyone from the public have any comments?
Don't see any raised hands from the public.
Okay, we'll go to our committee. So let's start at the beginning of the alphabet.
Okay.
I
Elizabeth?
can't see everybody who's here, so
No
I'll leave
problem.
it to you, Saida.
Okay. Elizabeth, go ahead.
Yes, sorry, I missed the first few minutes. So what floor is this on, or what floors?
It's on the 13th floor and above, and
What?
13th floor and above. And
Very high.
and you can see here on this elevation drawing where it starts, where that cornice begins on the 13th floor, and all above is all terracotta. Anything below the 13th floor in this building is limestone, and that'll be replaced with limestone.
Okay, thank you. It seems to me to be a very nice restoration, and it looks appropriate to me. So thank you very much.
Sarah, confirm unmuting.
I have no questions for now. Thank you.
Anthony, confirm unmuting.
Thank you. Okay, if, in other words, from 13th floor above, you're substituting terracotta with cast stone, and below that you are replacing in kind. I just wanted to make sure I understood.
Confirmed, correct.
I mean,
yes.
I know that's what Elizabeth asked you the same thing. Yeah, I think it's far enough up in the building that I don't think it would cause any concern, as long as you're doing as nice a job as you have up till now. So, okay, I don't have any problems with this in that case.
Marco, confirm unmuting.
Yes, thank you. I have a question. You are replacing even the cornice too, or not?
The cornice as well is being replaced with a cast stone.
And the cornice is in terracotta?
It is terracotta, yes.
Well, the only concern that I have is usually many buildings in the city, very elegant buildings, they keep using terracotta. I know that cast stone is stronger, but doesn't have the same properties. And I'm seeing even some decorative elements in many buildings in terracotta, and defying gravity included. And why you decided to change, and from the point of view of traditional materials, to change to cast stone? I know that it's stronger.
Now, I believe the question, may I repeat? The question is, why are we proposing cast stone for the cornice?
Cast stone and for the other parts too.
I didn't hear the
that
last.
many other buildings, they maintain that. They try to maintain it in the same material, even though that Anthony said it's fine. That you are in the 13th floor, almost not visible. It's impossible to differentiate between one to another one.
Well, let me see if I can answer that helpfully for you. So let's start with the cornice. The terracotta is hollow, right? It was built hollow, so it's about 2 to 3 inches, and it's filled with mortar and masonry. And when it was originally built, and it's set, that cornice in particular is set on these steel outriggers and held in place with the non-corrosive resistant anchors. They didn't have stainless steel or galvanized back then. And so when we replaced with a terracotta, it's a challenging installation. Whereas with the cast stone, a cast stone is going to come in a frame. It's going to have a steel frame in it, cast into it. So the attachment is in this particular case with that cornice, the attachment is very robust. And if you see that photograph that we replaced. Here, if you would look, this stone here is a good example. Now that stone had 2 by 2 steel, 2 inches by 2 inches steel tubes cast into that stone, and it was welded into the building steel outriggers for a very secure and robust tight installation. And we feel that type of connection is superior to a connection that would have been with the terracotta piece. Now, as far as that's for the cornice, The other stones, it has, for example, these medallions, if you can look at the photograph that we have up here. The original terracotta medallions are hollow. And the way they set them into the building is they used brick, and it protrudes 8 inches. The brick sticks 4 inches into the terracotta, the hollow unit, and 4 inches into the building. As far as a flashing or a secure attachment, what we in the cast stone that we're proposing is we're anchoring stainless steel with epoxy rods into it and welding those steel rods back to the building, so it's very tight connection. Also, the flashing is more permissible with the cast stone. With the terracotta unit, when it's mortared into place, it's hard to verify that the connection is robust because you cannot see the connection. Once it's in there, it's in there and you can't see it anymore. With a steel connection, you can make sure that the rods connection is welded, and you have what's called a special inspector, which will come and verify. A third party comes and inspects those welds and makes sure they're robust and attached securely. So there's a security, there's more of a secure attachment, and you can verify that attachment with this stone. And that's one of the reasons why we felt it was.
So basically, it's just only for security because you want to sleep nice. You don't want to have nightmares thinking that one of them is loose. I mean, I agree with that part, with that concept. I prefer in that part, but the beauty of the terracotta doesn't match anything at all. And thank you.
Thank you, Marco. Jane, David, do you want to go to public members or non-committee members next?
How about the public? Oh, it's David. Sorry.
Well, no, normally I think we'd go to our public members and, well, no, the non-committee members and then the public members.
Okay. Lori, can you confirm unmuting? Lori Borres? Okay, we can go to the next person. John, confirm unmuting?
Yes, thank you. My question is pretty simple, not knowing too much about the building materials. When we're talking about the cast stone over the terracotta, are there any obvious disadvantages to using cast stone?
Saved my gun.
As far as another material that would be available, it is the most successful material in this type of work. What some other people use is they would do a glass fiber reinforced concrete, which would be effectively a cast stone as well. As far as when you say, is there a better successful material, you mean as a match or as far as an installation?
That's not exactly what I was asking. Is there an obvious disadvantage to cast stone for a layperson like me who really doesn't know the difference?
Oh, no. It is the recommended substitute material for recladding 100-year-old decorative terracotta.
So stronger, just as beautiful or almost as beautiful, fits the bill and totally appropriate for a job like this.
Yeah, I mean, one of the, as I was trying to explain before, when you're attaching the terracotta, you don't have, there's not a steel to steel connection that can be verified.
Right.
And you get that with the cast stone, and that's what makes everyone sleep at night a lot better, because they can see that those attachments, they can verify those attachments before the stone gets set in place. Where with the terracotta, you're just cementing it in and hoping that the cement and the mortar adheres.
I understand.
So as far as the disadvantages, none that I know of.
Sherry?
Yes, I happen to live across the street from the building at 900 Park, and I'm looking out on it. I'm on the 17th floor, so I look directly over to the building. And I just want to share with you just the magnificence of the detail on this building. And I applaud the fact that they're looking to preserve it with more sustainable material. But it is up here, it's quite impressive looking over at the building. So I would support their recommendations.
Thank you. Christina?
Yes. I'm here.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I can support as presented. Thank you.
Any other public members?
Yes, Kimberly. Confirm unmuting.
Hi, thank you, Saida. To echo what Christina just said, I can support this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Anthony's hand is raised for another question. Go ahead, Anthony.
Thank you. It's just something that occurred to me after I stopped. Is the existing terracotta is glazed or unglazed?
Unglazed.
Okay, so it's unglazed terracotta. All right, fine. Thank you.
David.
I think that Jane has to comment.
Of course.
Oh, I
Okay.
can support. David, I'm supporting as presented.
Okay, I have no problem with it because Anthony asked the question I was going to ask and got the answer that I hoped we would hear. So I certainly can support it also. So on that basis, I think we need a resolution and a vote.
Resolution to approve?
Do I hear a second? I'll second it. Saida, would you please call the roll?
Sure. Let me unmute everyone. Give me 1 second.
Yes,
Thank you, Elizabeth.
yes,
Thank you. Sarah?
Yes.
Thank you. Anthony?
Yes.
Thank you. Marco?
Yes.
Thank you. Christina? Oh, sorry, Christina, you're not. I must have missed you. Okay. Christina? I think you have to press confirm on your device, Christina. What's your
Yeah.
vote? Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Kimberly?
Yes.
Thank you. Lori?
Yes.
Thank you. John?
I vote yes.
Thank you. Sherry? Gary?
Yes.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Gary.
No, it's
Gary.
Sherry. I said Sherry.
Oh, okay. Sherry says yes.
Okay, thank you. And Jane?
Yes,
Okay. David?
Yes, and I'd like to thank Mr. Happy for using the precast rather than the GFRC because he is using the much better material, and I think it's important for the board, for the committee to know that. And last but not least, for futures, I would have appreciated seeing some of the details, but we understand the explanation, and the photos are certainly helpful. So thank you for a good presentation.
Thank you, David. And that is 11 in favor.
Okay,
thank you, Saida.
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Okay, we're
Signing off.
going to go to 18 East 74th Street, the Upper East Side Historic District. Michael
Yes.
Zenreich, the architect. Application is for a penthouse reconstruction. Is the applicant here?
Yes. Martin, you can confirm unmuting and you can go ahead and share your screen whenever you're ready.
Thank you. One moment, if you'll bear with me. Get my screen up. Good. Hopefully you can see my screen at this point.
Yes, but just go ahead and maximize your presentation.
Yes.
Great.
I'll leave this first screen up and read a short description. The proposal is for an interior renovation for an existing 6th-floor townhouse at 18 East 74th Street, which includes rebuilding an existing 540 square foot penthouse, extending an existing elevator to the penthouse level, rebuilding the rear, south, and west facades, and excavating the rear yard and a portion of the cellar to incorporate a 75-foot lap pool and exercise area for the client, who is an elite level triathlete. The proposal includes no enlargement and minimal reconfiguration of the existing exterior volume in the back only. As we'll see, the frontmost face of the roof volume is currently the existing stair tower, which will be demoed. And so basically the leading face of the penthouse is relocated 12'6" back from the front of the building toward the rear. The current front of the penthouse comes out just like 9 feet toward the front, so a net of pushing it back about 3 feet. The elevator tower is raised. We have to build an extension to the elevator tower to accommodate the overrun, to accommodate the penthouse level stop and its overrun. And we'll show you how that volume works. And what that does is it provides accessibility at that level. There will be an elderly family member using the townhouse with the family. And we want to make sure that she can access the entire, all of the spaces. The penthouse level roof, the portion that's not being built as new penthouse, will be finished with a deck and historic rails, and will be used as an outdoor terrace. The existing windows, I'll blow up a little bit here, the 1934 tax photo, you can kind of see side by side with what is a 2001 edition that shows on the right here where the old cornice was, and a kind of balustrade that was on the original roof, which was removed, and then with the 2001 renovation moved up to the top, and we'll see some photos of that in just a moment. So the existing historic windows are, of course, existing to remain. We'll clean up the facade and repair, recaulk, and refinish the existing historic windows. The level 6 and penthouse windows, and 5, 6, and penthouse windows are non-historic, but we will refinish. We will reinstall those to match the 4th floor historic windows. The rear portion of the building, which we don't see here, in the volume that's approximately equal to a 1924 edition, will be demolished and rebuilt, including the south and west facades. The existing non-historic rear windows, finishes, and rails will be replaced with historic ones, and new facades will replace existing painted brick and painted galvanized panels with new recycled brick and patinaed metal panels, trim, and limestone window sills and steps. Existing non-historic rails at the roof level will be replaced by a low brick curb in the non-occupiable portion of the roof. The rear wall at the ground level will be relocated approximately 6 feet toward the front, enlarging the area of the rear yard. In the rear area, an existing winding stair and spiral stair will be demolished to provide additional living area.
Okay, Martin,
Sorry,
I don't mean
go
to
ahead.
interrupt you, but we're looking at the same slide. Do you have
Yes.
slides for drawings?
I absolutely do. I wanted to just kind of take you through everything, but why don't we go to the slides so you don't have to listen to my voice, and a picture is worth many, many of my words. Here we have just the results of our research on the history of the building. The original building, 1874. 1879, and just shows the lot. A renovation that was sometime in the early 20s. Shows the original lot, the sometime between the Bromley map of 1921 to 23 and 25. You see the addition of the annex here in the back. You'll get a sense of that volume in just a moment. You see we're mid-lot just off the corner here. This diagram shows the existing footprint and the penthouse. This hatched area is that portion that I mentioned before, where the existing southern face, will be relocated just north, opening up just a bit of the rear yard there. We did mock up the volume for the new penthouse and took views. This is just the map showing where we took some views of our mock-up, and I'll move to that. What you see here is we're looking towards the back, which is south, and this volume to the right of the leftmost slide is the stair tower that is being demoed. So this orange framing here shows where the new extension of the elevator will be, and you can see how it's set back quite a bit from the front, from where the old stair tower was. So that's just 3 views from the roof, looking at that area. From below, and here we are kind of all the way at the park side. And there is a smidge of visibility of this new extension of the elevator, but it's rather minimal. And when we render that with our brick that we've selected, it blends in a little bit with our taller neighbor here to the west, to the east, sorry. And but you can make out this volume just a bit. Please feel free to jump in, or I'll proceed. And
Yeah, please proceed with your entire presentation.
excellent, I will do. This is just a step closer, also from the park side. These images are a little more mid-block, and you get no view at all because of the parapets are blocking the new volume. And mid-block again, there's no view to the new construction. Let me go back to this one. This was the view actually from Madison Avenue. So there's no view to the volume. This is the view of the west and south facades that are existing. It's a combination of painted brick, non-historic windows from the they may or may not be from the 1925 renovation. We weren't able to determine. The bay window is on 5. That was part of the 2000 renovation, and they had painted galvanized panels. So in our redesign, we took a page out of this sort of vocabulary and tried to kind of respect the spirit of the panelization and the multi sort of lighted windows. And you'll see that when we look at elevations of the new design. Non-historic rails, and that we will reproduce in a more historic appropriate way. The existing rear yard that will be excavated but rebuilt and landscaped. And I will take you through plans very quickly. This is the cellar level, and the hatch shows the area of excavation, the demo plan, and the first floor. You can see, I'll jump ahead and show you the proposed design. This rectangle here is the proposed pool, and level 1, the proposed new rear yard area. Levels 2 and 3, you can see the area of the demo here, an existing winder stair that will be removed to allow for more living area here, and that should have the single grand stair.
Martin, we really don't have to review the interior design.
Wonderful. I'm going to skip all this then.
We're really interested in the exterior. And I also wanted to get the dimensions of the penthouse and the new dimension of the rear yard, the previous dimension of the rear yard, and the new dimension.
Okay, I'd have to maybe go to another drawing that's not part of the presentation to find that if I don't have it here, but I think we can get that for you. Basically, let me start with the last first. For the rear yard, we know we have a 30-foot setback existing to, we're 20 foot here from the property line. And then the new wall will be set at 30 here. We are.
I'm so confused, Martin. I don't mean to.
That's okay.
I'm very confused. You're pulling back the rear elevation to enlarge the rear yard. Is that correct?
Correct, on the first level.
So what it on the first level, first story, the ground level?
Yeah.
What are the existing dimensions of the rear yard, and what is the new dimension going to be?
Correct. Okay, so what we're looking here is the demo plan. So this shows existing dimensions. We have east to west, the lot is 21 feet. North to south, we have the dog leg, right? So you can see where my dotted lines are here, that this is the exterior wall. So we have the northmost face at 20 feet setback from the property line, and then the other face, the other north face, 2210 setback. This dimension from the west facing wall to the property line to the west is 8 feet. I'm sorry.
So Martin,
9 feet,
this is why there's going to be an extension into the rear yard. Is that correct?
There is a current extension. There's this area.
Yeah, but you're saying there's a current extension. Is that extension going to be pulled back, or is it going to stay?
It gets pulled back.
Okay, great. I wish you would outline everything in color so we could see exactly what was going on, because it's so confusing to me.
I apologize. We do have a diagram here, and maybe this will help. It wasn't part of our original LPC package, so we didn't present it. We didn't have it part of the other presentation, but I'll switch to that. I think this will be, with your permission, just use this as kind of a visualization tool. What this shows.
So my sense is you're pulling back part of the dog leg, as you call it.
Yep.
To enlarge the rear yard.
Correct.
At the ground level.
Correct.
Okay.
So again, I apologize for the unclarity of the black and white drawings. I think this will make it a lot easier. Just to kind of explain this drawing, proposed demo in purple, the proposed new in red. So I think you can see clearly here how that works. This is a skylight for the new pool down below, and this is the rear yard. This is the area.
So you're really pulling back that extension to create the skylight for the lap pool.
That's a big part of it.
Okay.
Mhm. The volumes on the upper floors don't change much. There's a little bit of square footage that we take from some areas and go to other areas. This is the bay window that gets taken away. And so that's floors cellar through 3. And this is floors 4 through penthouse. Now, maybe we'll use this to look at the penthouse for just a moment to set that up. So on the left is the roof existing. On the right is the roof proposed. The demo of the stair tower that I mentioned before in purple on the left, and the additional portion showing where my cursor is right now, the elevator extension and the added portion of the penthouse.
What are the dimensions of the penthouse?
The dimensions of the penthouse I'd have to get for you, but this is 9, that's 12. Basically from where my cursor is now to this lower portion, that's 12 feet. So that's the existing extension, what we were calling the dog leg. And you know, the exact dimensions here, we can look at a plan right after I kind of present this portion. So one important point here is you see these parallel lines. There was an idea to have a trellis as part of this occupiable deck. We've removed that from the project, and that's why you don't see it in the mock-up. So basically that those orange rails that you saw, the framing, was right here, was the elevator extension. Okay.
What are the dimensions of the elevator extension?
It is 13 from the penthouse floor level, 13 feet.
13 feet high?
Correct.
And how about the width and the length?
The width, it is 4.5 feet wide, where my cursor is here. And this dimension, I seem to recall, was 7.5 feet.
Right.
7.5 feet deep?
From east to west in this dimension,
Okay.
yes.
Oh, the length. Okay, sorry,
Mhm.
length.
Yeah, length.
Okay.
All right, let's look at the dimensions. I'll go to the other one so I can get you the dimensions of the penthouse, the new penthouse. Okay, there's the existing, and bear with me. Okay. So first, let me just sort of block this out so we're clear on where it starts and stops. I hope this is okay, my methodology here. Okay, so this is the new area.
Okay, that's a good starting point. How many
Yep.
square feet are being added to the penthouse?
None. 540 existing, 540 remaining. Just a little bit rejiggered.
Okay, so it doesn't change.
Correct.
Okay, it's just being pulled back from the front elevation.
It's being pulled back, but we do have the added volume of the stair tower, of the
Elevator.
elevator. Yeah. Okay, so I will proceed to the end here.
Okay.
And thank you for your patience again. These elevations depict kind of the nature of the new volume here, and what you see on top of the non-occupiable portion of the roof is a shroud for mechanical equipment at the upper level. That's the view from the front. And from the rear, the materials at the new penthouse will match the new facade in the rear. I'm not sure we actually got to this, but this is the existing rear facade, north facing, and this is the proposed. So you see that we've taken some of the vocabulary from the steel windows, the galvanized, yeah, and sort of rebuilt that. The materials here are recycled brick and a patinaed metal panel at the bay window. This drawing shows the west facade. So if you're looking at the side of the dog leg, as we're calling it, you see the kind of mishmash of windows here, and these will all be new steel windows, casement windows that we're proposing. The new recycled brick. You see the new bay window in the side elevation here that will be clad with the metal and the steel windows. The section of the building looks like this. This is looking east. This is that west facade that we just looked at, existing on the left and new on the right. Shows where the new work is. The new occupiable deck at the penthouse level, the elevator overrun, that 13 feet that I mentioned, and a portion of the new penthouse, and the equipment above that I mentioned. There's existing rails at the back that we will remove and replace that with a low, like a 6-inch curb at the non-occupiable portion of the roof. The whole facade goes away, and new steps, new landscaping at the back, a new deck, and the pool level below, which will be new. More details.
That's the extent of your presentation?
I'm almost there.
Okay.
I can pick up the pace a little bit.
Yeah, Martin, look, sure. This is Mike Rosani with Michael Zenreich Architects as well. Let's try and just go through, and explain the extent of the proposal and see what specific questions they're going to have.
Right.
I think you're just about there in terms of the overall scope of what we're proposing here.
Well, I'm understanding there's an elevator overrun. There's a pushing back of the penthouse. There's a removal of some of the dog leg, but not entirely, to create a larger rear yard. And then I know you're replacing all the windows and doing sort of a restoration. But are those the three main things that you're doing? Are the penthouse, the rear yard, and the elevator overrun?
That's the extent of the items that are going forward for the public hearing at Landmarks.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Everything else is, we might be doing.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, we might be doing the windows at staff level. It's been part of this presentation, but we wanted to include everything so you saw the full picture of what we're proposing for the restoration of this building. But the major items that are pushing us towards a public hearing is the reconstruction of the penthouse, the elevator extension for the overrun, and the reconstruction of the rear facade of the building.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I apologize. I should have introduced Mike Rosani on the call from our office, and Michael Zenreich is here with us too. And as Mike said, I am almost there. We have drawings showing the existing windows and the work proposed for those. I don't think we need to spend time on that.
Well, because you're replacing them in kind, I'm assuming they're going to be wooden in the front.
Correct. Absolutely correct.
And stainless steel in the rear.
Yeah, like a blackened metal steel, correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's pretty thorough. I think it's,
Mhm.
I think you described the intent, the extent of the project pretty well. I just want to say one thing. The height of the elevator bulkhead is only 4 feet above the maximum height of the building now, not 13 feet.
13 feet
Oh,
from
so the
24 feet.
elevator
It's
overruns
13 feet above the existing roof, but the penthouse is above the roof and the elevator bulkhead is only 4 feet above the penthouse.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you for the clarification.
Yes. Just very, as a last point here, on the left, just some details. The existing brick above is red and unpainted. Below, it's been painted. This is at the rear. The existing rails that we, non-historic rails that we intend to remove, both at the ground level and at the roof. The existing limestone in the front, which will match for the trim in the back, and an existing door, which is non-historic, but in the rear, and something like what we'll have as the new vocabulary for the windows. On the right side is an image of the brick that we're proposing, an image of the metal patina that we're proposing for the rear panels. There's some teak trim up on the new roof deck. Some details showing the new steel doors and windows. That's basically it. And thus concludes my presentation. Thank you so much for your patience and time.
Martin, thank you. It is confusing, to say the very most, but I think I've got the three main components down, which is why you're here for us for the public hearing and then going to the commission.
Let's keep
Saida,
that up. Can we keep that full screen, Martin, in case we want to go to another image during the questions?
Sure thing.
Yes, because what we're going to do now is go to the committee, Saida, and we're going to start in the reverse order. So we'll take the committee in the reverse alphabetical order. We'll go to non-committee members, and then we'll go to public members.
Excellent. Thanks, Jane. Marco, confirm unmuting.
Yes, thank you, Saida. Let me start saying something. I review your drawings, Mr. Winner, and they are extremely very well done. And I have to commend that part. But your presentation, probably because you worked so hard, you confused your presentation. I mean, I know that you want to demonstrate that you work hard. Yes, definitely. You work very hard. And the way that I perceive your application is, I mean, it's minimal visible. So our discussion is basically if it's visible or not visible, is minimum and that is acceptable. The rear yard, I like your point of view. There is a panelization that they have some character and something, and you try to bring back to that. And I think if you put more strength emphasis, then your presentation will be more successful. But I think it's great. The other part is you don't do any enlargement in the rear yard. You maintain, you reveal, and you do that. I think that's basically what it is. Just only one concern. You have a fan on the roof. Are you maintaining or you removing? Because there is the dock also on the facade.
I didn't understand the very last part of your question.
Oh, I saw you have a fan that coming from kitchen. And
yes.
The duct, you are maintaining or you removing?
No. So there's an existing black iron duct that's exposed in the rear. You might have seen it in the photo. I can bring it up. And that's all getting removed. And that duct work will be, you can see it here in this image. So that will now be internal to within the interior. So we will have a little chimney for that, but it won't be visible.
Okay, thank you. I think pretty much, I mean, I have to commend your drawings.
Thank you.
One of the best that I'm seeing. And
so nice.
if you shorten your presentation, would be even much better, more clarity for you and benefit for you. And thank you so much.
You're welcome. This is my first real LPC presentation or to the community board, and so thank you for letting me sort of practice this.
Thank you. Anthony, confirm unmuting.
I echo Marco's comments, and but I also have a question, and this doesn't pertain to the actual stuff we're supposed to be looking at, but I also looked at the drawings, and I'm a little confused. The front face of the building is currently what?
Front face of the building is shown here. It's limestone.
No, I know what
Yeah.
it's limestone. Okay.
Yep.
Then you keep referring to in your drawings to the window surrounds and sills and things like that as cast stone. You're not planning on replacing any of that. Okay, so
There's
it's
no
the
original
original limestone.
Correct.
Okay, so you might want to clean up those notes. Otherwise, it's it is commendable that you've actually made it smaller in the at the penthouse at the rear, and I don't have any real objection to what you've done or what you're proposing to do on the exterior. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sarah? Excuse me.
Hi, I have a question for Jane and then a question for Martin. Jane, the agenda says that we're looking that the application is for a penthouse renovation.
That agenda is incorrect.
Okay, so we're looking at the penthouse as well as the rear yard.
We're looking at the penthouse, the rear yard, and the elevator override.
And the elevator over. Okay, thank you. And Martin, my question is with regard to the added height. I think it was on the elevator override. Does that impact any of the windows from the neighboring buildings?
We have, let me show you this elevation again.
No, it doesn't. It's on the other side.
Oh, correct. I mean, it doesn't block any windows. No, it's visible from some windows, but it does not block windows.
Okay, great. Thank you. That was my question.
Elizabeth?
This is a very handsome building, and I think you've done a very decent job. The penthouse it seems to be pretty well invisible from the public way, and the override. So I would, if you could see them, this building should not have it. But I think the lack of visibility and the increase in the size of the rear yard, I think this is a good proposal, and I will support it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Sherry, confirm unmuting. Sherry Weiner?
I didn't have a comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will support.
Thank you, Sherry. John, confirm unmuting.
Yes, I could support it.
Thank you, John. And Lori, confirm unmuting.
Hi, are we voting on this? Because I vote yes.
No, we're not voting yet. We're just giving you an opportunity to comment.
Okay, no, I don't have any comments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Kimberly, confirm unmuting.
Thank you, Saida. I think I can support this. My only question was, I believe, Martin, you said that the changes on the roof were going to total 13 feet in height?
Well, to clarify, the existing penthouse is 9. So the 13 is from the lower roof deck. So it's an extension of 4 feet only from the existing penthouse height.
So the 13 is inclusive of the 9. Got it.
Correct.
My question was going to be if you had socialized this with the neighbors, but if it's not truly that much of an addition, I can support this.
Thank you.
Yeah, confirm unmuting. You're unmuted, Christina.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for your presentation, and I can support as presented.
David?
I've heard the full discussion already, so I have nothing to add.
Okay.
I will recuse.
Does any Jane?
I will support the presentation. I just want to make a comment. I know it was your baptism by fire, Martin, but it's really important when these presentations come to us that they're just slightly more succinct. I just want to suggest that for the future, since I'm sure you'll be making many more presentations. The drawings were excellent and the house is beautiful. I think it's time for a resolution.
Okay.
Does somebody want to make a resolution?
Marco is raising his hand. Marco, confirm unmuting.
Yes, thank you. I would like to put a motion, and the motion is to approve as presented. Thank you. If somebody else second.
We have a second from Anthony.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Okay, 1 second while I unmute everyone for the vote.
Thank you, Said. And I hope, Martin, I hope you thought my comment was gracious or whatever.
I thank you all for your comments, even the ones that were critical of my presentation, because that's also helpful. And it's an absolute pleasure to meet you and talk to you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being
Yeah.
so kind.
Elizabeth?
Yes.
Thank you. Sarah?
Yes.
Anthony?
Yes.
Marco?
Yes.
Okay. Christina?
Yes.
Kimberly?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Okay. And Sherry?
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, Jane?
Yes.
And David?
I have to recuse myself,
Okay.
as the family business has been a client for many years.
Okay. Thank you.
I think it was unanimous, Saida, wasn't it?
It was. So 10 in favor and 1 not voting for cause.
Well, thank you. And thank you, Martin. And I hope you come before us soon again.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome.
Thank you so
So
much.
that concludes our 2 applications. Is there a move to adjourn?
We have a move to adjourn from Marco.
Yes, move to adjourn.
And a second to that?
Second.
Thank you,
David.
David.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for your help, Saida, as always.
My pleasure.